So
we're going to go bankrupt.
yes,
yeah, we are. Couple minutes left here. Russia. There's a huge push from this administration.
yeah. People like sometimes like
to end this war.
Say like,
yeah.
You know, I'm a bought asset of Putin.
Yeah.
I'm like, he can't afford me.
Yeah. I think you're worth more than Russia.
Think about it.
I like that. So, you're trying to end a war. Ending a war always means you have to compromise, you have to negotiate with an enemy or an adversary. That's just what it is. And right now, they are lambasting the president for trying a different method to a war that they haven't been able to end for 3.5 years or 3 years.
Yeah.
They're saying Trump's blaming Zelensky for the invasion. How do you process all of the negativity toward him for trying to end this war?
Well, first of all, I think we should have empathy for the people dying at the front lines. That's the most important thing. And people have been dying, you know, it's like, how many more years is this supposed to go on?
Yeah.
And imagine if that was your son, your father, you know, what are they dying for?
Yeah.
What exactly are they dying for? That line the line of engagement has barely moved for 2 years.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of people dead in trenches for what? And I'll tell you what for what. It's like for the biggest graft machine that I've ever seen in my life. That's for what. It's unreal. Like the amount of money that is being taken in graft and bribery is disgusting. And so what's actually happening is that those you know, those poor guys are getting sent into a meat grinder for money. That's what's actually going on.
Yeah.
And it needs to stop.
And it seems, Trump is so pragmatic on this. He's just looking at it and he's saying, it's Ukraine, it's not our country, it's not a NATO ally. I just want to see people not dying. I want to see on both sides. Think about how so many young men have died in Ukraine that the army is starting to age out. The military is aging out. You got 40 and 50-year-old guys fighting in a war because there's nobody left that's not killed or maimed in their 20s.
Yeah.
That's the reality of it. Think about how many people that is. If you're a humanitarian at all, you just got to end the war. No matter what. Just get it over with.
Yes. People, they need to stop dying.
Yeah.
And the grift machine's got to stop, you know. So, and I think people, a lot of people out there don't realize, like, the president has a lot of empathy. He really cares, you know. He's a good man. So.
I got one more for you. I've been fascinated by you for a very long time.
Thanks.
I've never seen anybody that can, do so many things at the same time. You've got the rockets, you got the cars. I've always wanted to ask you, what is it like inside your mind? Is it just 1,000 miles an hour? Are you?
Yeah.
Is it just not? Does it ever stop? Do you sleep? How much do you sleep? Paint us a picture of inside of the mind of a genius. How do you do all this? Can you answer that question? It's not an easy question. Yeah.
My mind is a storm.
Yeah.
So, it's a storm. But let me maybe tell you something. Like, you didn't ask the question, but I think it's worth kind of nonetheless maybe just elaborating on something, which is, I grew up in South Africa, but my morality was informed by America. I read comic books, played Dungeons and Dragons, and I watched American TV shows, and it seemed like America cared about being the good guys, about doing the right thing, and that's actually pretty unusual, by the way.
Yeah.
It's like
in the world, it's very unusual.
It's not like actually.
Most countries don't do that.
No, they don't.
No.
And so I was like, you want to be this good. You want to be on the side of good. You want to care about what's right, So that's what I believe in. So.
I gave you a tough one at the end.
Yeah. So,
That's great. That's great. Elon Musk.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so much.